Hello ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long time indeed since I've made a video, but now I am back and I am prepared to show you something that I've been working on for the past few days. This one, yeah, nothing crazy, nothing too difficult. I wanted to take a break from Lua script, so I made the whole controller using logic blocks, and I would like to show you how to make a steering stabilization. Because a lot of people do not use any form of stabilization, and those vehicles don't behave well. And the handling is quite awful in some cases. So today I would like to explain and show you guys how you can make your vehicles stable. Then let's proceed. I quickly take this to the workshop. Open the main controller. And here is the function, the only singular function we will be using for our steering. And I will, since function blocks do not or cannot show the whole function and the editing is difficult, I will just copy this piece and create a new file. Yes. Okay, let me close this. Okay, so here it is. Let me break this down for you. So, this z divided by maximum of absolute value epsilon divided by 5, then to the power of 1.1 with minimum of 1. This is the whole thing for your steering. Z is your A and D in output from the seat, and that is then divided by the relative value of Y. That would be a directional speed sensor facing forward. So here you have your speed in meters a second, that is divided by 5. Then you take the minimum value, or basically you clamp it from the top. So the maximum output of this thing will be 10. Then it is to the power of 1.1. So the scale is non-linear. I don't know how to explain it without using any graphic like description. Maybe try using it in Desmos. That's a quite good application for function visualization. Then what do we do with that? This max thingy will return value. This is the first value. Okay, let me separate this. This is the first value, and this is the second value of the max function. Now what this does, it will always output the bigger number. So when this is below 1, it will output 1. When this is above 1, let's say 5, it will output 5 because 5 is greater than 1. Okay, so then you divide A and D value by this calculation, and the other part. This is the stabilization stuff. I don't know if I can go into much detail because you need to have some, let's say, advanced knowledge of mathematics. What I basically do is I take two vectors, the sideways speed from the rear axle, that would be a slip, and the forward speed. Now, when you make a triangle and these two forces meet on 90-degree angle, you make a triangle out of that, and the longest side is the final vector that we will be calculating, and from that vector we take an angle that will be recalculated using this pi times 0.6 divided by 2. It's shorter for 2 pi divided by 4 times 0.6. Why do I have 0.6 in here? Is how the wheels turn. You know, because when the maximum angle of the wheel, when it receives value of 1, the maximum angle is not 1 or a turn or something. It is 0.6 times 0.25. So a quarter of a turn times 0.6. And then you have to multiply it by pi 2, because we need radians, not turns, for a arctangent function. So W is the sideways speed sensor on the rear wheels. Then we subtract angular speed times pi 2. Then we have angular speed in radians, and then you multiply it by the by half of the wheelbase. So when I have 3.5 meters in length of the wheelbase, I multiply it by 1.75. Then, to complete the atan function, we divide it by absolute value of speed. And that is basically it. What this A does, this is for enabling and disabling the stabilization, which I will show you right away. Now, how do you connect this fucking piece of shit? You take physics sensor, output number 11, or the channel 11 is the angular speed. You connect to X. Number 9 is Y. That's the forward speed. And number 7 is the sideways speed, W. Then this composite is just seat A and D, and the turning on and off with number 4 on the seat. Then I fed it to controller before, but it didn't really do anything, so that's a quite useless thing. So we just have this. The output goes directly to the right wheel, and inverted output goes to the left wheel. And that's it. It's not difficult. This will make your vehicle behave a lot better. The handling will take a great leap forward. Well, let me show you. So, let's hop into here, and this is the power setting. I might do a second video on engine throttle and the control later. But for now, let's turn off traction control, let's send power to the rear wheels, and let's keep the stabilization on and maximum power. Okay, so rear wheels are spinning at about 200 kilometers an hour, but as you can see, we are calm and stable here on the airfield. Turn around. There is indeed some oversteer, but it is controlled, and you don't need to worry about swaying too much. Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, now let me turn off the traction control. Mind you, sorry, I apologize. Let me turn off the stabilization. Mind you, the traction control is still off, and we are still sending power only to the rear wheels. Now, as you can see, the vehicle is a lot more lively, but this is only good for showing off or having drift sessions with friends. Once we actually try to get up to speed, you can see how, oh yeah, and we have fallen down. Start it again. Okay, so traction control off, power to the rear wheels, and stabilization off. Let me try to get up to speed, or at least like some speed if I can. And of course we want the maximum power. And we are spinning out again. Now for these purposes, it is quite good to have a traction control, so let me show you what it does. You see it starts blinking, it knows the wheels are turning way faster than they should, and it modulates the throttle. Now this way, we don't actually need to worry about any like noticeable oversteer. Of course there is still some sway in the rear because we have the stabilization off, but once I turn it on, you can see we are super stable and super smooth. Again. Now I will switch it to 4-wheel drive, or have the 50-50 torque split. The traction control is off, and stabilization is now also off. As you can see, the oversteer is not as bad as on in rear wheel drive, but you do notice the slight sway when I let go of the steering, that it wants to go further sideways. So let me turn on the stabilization, and again with turn on stabilization and traction control off, let's see what it does. You see how smooth it is? How it does not want to go more than it should? Yeah, this is great. Now, turning off the traction control, and you have the best handling vehicle you could ever have. Of course, the traction control, I will go over that in another video, maybe together with the engine throttle, because it's not advanced. I don't use personally any PIDs, because I think they are boring, dumb and dull, and no. I don't need the exact 3.0 RPS at idle. I just want it to feel nice, natural, and smooth, most importantly. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have learned something new. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments below this video or on Steam, where this vehicle will be uploaded or is already uploaded, and I will have the link in the description. Okay, so goodbye.